In the enchanted realm of a far-off kingdom, a beautiful princess named Elisa lived a life of joy and happiness alongside her 11 handsome brothers. The royal family was a harmonious one, with their loving parents, the king and queen, ruling with kindness and wisdom. However, their idyllic existence was disrupted when the king remarried a mysterious and sinister woman, who was, in fact, a wicked sorceress. This wicked queen's malevolent powers began to unfold, and with a flick of her wand, the princes were transformed into wild swans. Elisa, now an outcast, watched in horror as her brothers took to the skies, their cries echoing through the kingdom. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the wild swans returned to their human form, but only for a fleeting moment, for as the morning dew settled, they once again became the majestic birds that Elisa had grown accustomed to seeing. The princess, determined to break the curse, embarked on a perilous journey to gather the necessary materials to create a magical garment that would restore her brothers to their human form. With an unyielding spirit, Elisa set out to collect the prickly nettles that grew deep within the forest. As she worked tirelessly, her fingers bleeding from the sharp thorns, she whispered not a word, knowing that any utterance would condemn her brothers to a life of avian existence. Meanwhile, a neighboring king, enchanted by Elisa's beauty and bravery, discovered her in the forest and whisked her away to his palace. Though her new surroundings were luxurious, Elisa's focus remained unwavering, as she continued to weave the enchanted garments, her lips sealed in silence. However, the archbishop of the land, suspicious of Elisa's mysterious powers, began to investigate her activities. As the nettle supply dwindled, Elisa ventured to the cemetery to gather more, unaware that the archbishop was watching her every move. Convinced that she was a witch, the archbishop convinced the king to sentence Elisa to death. The morning of her execution dawned, and Elisa, with her fingers still clutching the nettles, stood before the executioner, her heart heavy with sorrow. As the noose tightened around her neck, the wild swans, sensing their sister's distress, appeared from the shadows, their eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. With a burst of courage, Elisa completed the final set of nettle garments, and as she flung them towards the swans, the princes transformed back into their human forms. The king, overcome with remorse, begged Elisa's forgiveness, and the two were married in a grand ceremony, surrounded by the 11 princes who now stood by their side. As the newlyweds danced under the starry sky, the kingdom rejoiced, their wicked queen banished, and their princess, now the queen, had finally found her happily ever after. The enchanted realm was once again filled with laughter and love, as Elisa and her brothers lived on, their bond strengthened by the trials they had overcome together.